Uh,
Blame it on Bill. Blame it on Bill.
Right. Yeah, that's right.
it
That's
is.
called externalizing your problems.
Yeah, right. I I do not really think it was your fault, Bill.
No, it was.
You were
I
the
think it
lovely
was nice.
distraction.
It was a nice diversion for me.
Yeah, we had a nice chat. So,
Oh,
guys,
I need to get off for 1 second here.
okay.
Somebody's been trying to get a hold of me, but I will be back.
How are you this morning, Mr. Nagel?
I'm fine. Uh,
Good. Oh, I like it.
that's because I haven't shoveled the snow yet. Yeah, so-
Maybe you shouldn't.
We only got about an inch here, so I'm not sure if my snowplow guys are going to come or not.
Oh, probably not. Ours
Probably not.
don't come unless it's three or more.
so I have just two, and it's light and fluffy, so it won't be much of a problem.
Oh, good. We had three, and but it's. I agree. I think it's light and fluffy. So.
Yeah, I moved some off the deck and it was light and fluffy. It may not stay that way.
Down south here, we have 8 inches from overnight.
Wow.
Oh, really?
In Virginia, get that.
Well, he says he's in the mountains, so mountains
Yeah.
make a difference.
Yeah, although the weather map shows this thing whop down through north parts of North Carolina and Southern Virginia, not in the mountains too. I think it's really disruptive.
Indeed. Indeed.
Well, while we're waiting for Joanne, I'll be right back too.
Oh, okay. Anyone else want to take a break? uh, how's Madeline doing, Bill?
She's doing well, other than being distressed about the situation that distresses all of us, I guess.
I'm sure that's true,
Yep.
knowing her.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so bad that nobody even has words for it anymore. I mean, it's
Yeah. That is part of the problem is how the media is dominated, uh, you know, the ability to dominate the media by the he who shall not be named
yes,
is
yeah.
incredible.
Well, ladies. uh, yeah, Bill, going back to our previous conversation, um, one of the things is that the Taoists haven't written a whole lot, unlike the Buddhists who can't stop writing.
Oh, huh.
Um, so there's huge amounts of writing about and by Buddhists and um, much more limited um, from the Taoists.
Which is part of the idea, right?
Yeah, actually, absolutely part of the philosophy. The Taoists were much more inclined to focus on um, developing awareness um, of what was going on in the body and what was going on in the universe, so that they are certainly the root sources for traditional Chinese medicine, and their astrological work was really pretty incredible. Um, and so that gets written about a little bit, but philosophically they're not. There are good writings, but there aren't very many. Certainly in comparison. Well, I'm just about inclined to go on, guys.
Yeah.
Well, I think I will. Uh, so, questions, reports? How's your connection with your first energy body?
I realized how much I enjoy going to class in person with Joanne, or any of you that came to, anyone else, that it makes a big difference
Yeah.
in my motivation
Uh-huh.
and just so sorry that couldn't happen today. Maybe next week.
Yeah. Well, when the weather is permitting, absolutely.
Weather in our schedules.
Yep. But I also think it's wise to be careful with the weather, because no sense, no sense putting yourself in danger in any way.
Yeah.
Bill or Bill?
It's
I'm not sure
on,
about. Go ahead, Bill.
it's been a light week for me.
Okay.
Uh, the shoveling, which I've it's a it's an obsession from childhood, I think. I've been the designated shoveler and sweeper these days since I was 7 or 8. Um, so the storms we've had at my age wear me out a little bit, and uh,
Yeah, I think,
God seems to have been the uh, unfortunate recipient of that.
I think it's important to really pay attention to that too, because you can hurt yourself.
Yeah, no, with other health issues, I'm quite careful.
Yeah.
But I love to play in the snow.
Mr. Bynum, anything for you?
I, in terms of the connection with the first energy body, I think I'm a seeker, not a finder, and I think it has uh, slowed down my practice. Uh, I think it's just another uh, angle or level of finding awareness,
Hmm.
which which happens. So it's been it, the the practices, which I didn't do as many of as I have in past weeks, but have been slower and I think more mindful. So
Good. Anything for you, Joanne?
No, I do have to say I put more time into the form this week after having been to your place last week. But no, I mean it's that process. I did do a little practice this week, not as much as I did in flowing, but
Hmm. Okay. Well, I think it is certainly the first energy body is the easiest of the energy bodies to connect to. Um, and just simply because we're so aware of our physical bodies, sometimes more so than we ought to be. Although you do want to pay attention to it, but um, not be constantly thinking about it. Um, so I am going to take us on into the etheric body, the Taoist second energy body, um, because there there is a relationship between the etheric body and just slightly below your skin, what is called the Wei Qi. It is the river that surrounds the entire body, and its tributaries go into everything that's involved in acupuncture, and it is the connecting medium to everything inside your body. So often, when people walk into a room with a stranger present, anywhere from 3 to 10 feet away, all of a sudden, they can feel that person, but they can't quite tell what they are feeling. So essentially, what they're feeling is the etheric body of that individual in some way interacting with their etheric body. So between your flesh and this boundary out there is your etheric body. It is in this middle space. It's right outside and it has a boundary. So your etheric boundary surrounds your physical body like a sphere. It's in front, to the sides and back of you, and above your head and below your feet. And each part of this sphere is a natural boundary of the etheric body. In the 8 energy bodies of Taoism, this etheric sphere surrounding your body is involved with your first and second energy bodies, your flesh, and the energies which tell you your body what to do. This in addition to your brain having a signal. And it is actually your energy in your etheric body that is doing that. And it goes both ways. The etheric body is telling your body, your physical body, what to do. And what's happening inside of your body is actually creating the etheric body. So they are joined together. You can't really separate them. Now, for most people, the boundary of the etheric body is somewhere between 3 and 10 feet, although it can be much more and it can be less. One of the purposes of gods is to increase the size of your etheric body. eventually beyond 10 feet. Now, when you extend your arms, you should also simultaneously extend your etheric body, so that when your arm extends out, you also want to be extending past that point. When you bend your arms, you should pull your etheric body back into your physical body, so that you're getting this constant flow of your etheric body in and out. In general, this is what our health and human awareness attract. Now, usually the boundary, as I said, is 3 to 10 feet, but you have people who are really good at this, who can extend it way beyond that, so that people can actually literally feel what they're doing in the back of a giant stadium. I know that I have mentioned that I experienced this with the Dalai Lama. Now, how to feel and become aware of your etheric body is something that was taught in Dragon and Tiger Qigong. The work of extending your etheric body from 3 to 10 feet is part of the content of an advanced level of Dragon and Tiger. In this specific program that we're doing, we will show you how the etheric body works and is incorporated within God's. Now, why is having a strong etheric body or field good? The reason why is that the etheric field is mimicking what's inside your body for good and for ill. If your etheric body is very weak, the inside of your body will be very weak. If your etheric body is very strong, normally the inside of your body will be strong. Now, it's been used for healing in about every major civilization. So when you see people with their hands above someone's body doing whatever it is that they're doing, they're working with that person's etheric field. And there are many ways of doing it. For example, Dragon and Tiger's whole Qigong Tuina is based upon that. And you can also see this when someone is getting acupuncture needles placed in their body. The acupuncturist, knowing how to work with the etheric field above, can cause the effect of the qi going from one needle to the other to happen much more quickly. And often this shortens the time it takes to get a successful acupuncture treatment. It is used in many different types of Qigong systems as well. Now, the biggest single safety consideration that you have with the etheric body is not to try and force it to go where it doesn't want to go. You can also find out that if you can smooth out the emotions that are happening in your field, usually the darker thoughts and more expressive outbursts can be resolved. When you start talking about forcing the etheric body, you're always going to try to remember the 70% rule. But it is more than that. You can have a calm and sunny day with a regular wind running through, and you still can keep everything together. But if a hurricane is coming, or a typhoon, or a tornado, so that the wind starts whirling around, you start getting that sort of a whipping feeling of things suddenly jumping from this to that with ridiculous speeds. Not jumping to one place and staying, but jumping from one place to another. And it is something that is telling you that you need to do something to smooth out your etheric body. And this is a problem that has happened within many of the fire schools of Qigong. But it doesn't have to be from the fire schools alone. You can also see your entire mental disposition doing that. And if you start seeing your mental disposition really going crazy, your etheric field is probably fluctuating like it is crazy. And you may realize that you're going back to something that was driving you crazy in the past. Now, when things start being excessively crazy, usually it is easier to smooth out the etheric body to some degree. Before you start trying to smooth out what's below the skin. There is another issue that goes along with this. A little bit below your skin, as I said, is a river of qi called the Wei Qi. Literally, it translates as encircling game, but more commonly it is called the protective qi. It got that name because it protects your body from whatever the etheric body is bringing in. It is the protective qi of the body, but it's more than that. It's the place where all these acupuncture points and channels are located. And many of the deeper channels of your body connect. So the next thing you want to have is that besides having the sense of the etheric field outside of you, of you becoming smooth, you want to have the sense of the Wei Qi inside, below your skin, becoming very smooth rather than erratic or intermittent. And there are many ways that that can happen. But what you want to do is try and get the Wei Qi smooth as you do God's, so that when you are able to be aware of the skin of your body, it says, you can do that movement. It's okay. I don't really object. Then you start looking at your etheric body at its outer limits. Is it saying, I don't want to be doing this? And if so, you want to smooth that out. So today we're just going to take the first three movements of God's and realize that what we're doing for the first three is what you want to be doing for all six eventually. So if you'll stand, stepping out to your shoulder's width and allowing yourself to land in your basic structure. allow your mind to still and your body to still. Let the breathing slow and lengthen. And then begin doing movement 2. So the first thing is you want to just recognize how your hands are affecting your etheric body. As you do that, just feel your skin and make sure your skin is okay with doing this. Because there's not really any point of going to the second energy body if your physical energy body is being objected to. At least do this until your first energy body is saying, it's okay, no problem, we can do this. Make sure that you have below your feet, beyond the tips of your fingers, above your head, and the ends of your etheric field stable. Now move into working with the etheric body if it is stable. You want your hands moving down and up to start activating the entire sphere of your etheric body around you. So it's going to be what's ahead of you, what's in back of you, what's to the left and the right. But remember, if you do this, you must keep the 5 points stable. The 5 points are the boundary of your etheric body. Above your head, below, beyond your fingertips, and beyond your toes, below your feet. Just continue to stabilize the 5 points. And then from those 5 points, allow your body to become aware of the entire etheric field around you. And begin movement 3. As you become aware of the etheric field all around you, notice if you feel any blockages anywhere, so that either by the smoothness of your movement or by dissolving them, you get rid of them. You can use any other method that you've learned that can get rid of the blockages. Now focus on the Wei Qi, the etheric river underneath your skin. And make that etheric river and the feeling of the etheric body outside your physical body become one. These are two different things, each of which is the extension of the other. And it doesn't matter which one is first and which one is second. You're doing your best to make it smooth as possible, and releasing anything inside your body, using anything you know that can help. And then reverse direction. making it smooth, will change from day to day, but it will always be the same stuff. You will find that at certain times, just because of the nature of the way the body changes, some aspects inside it become more dominant than others. So you could dissolve everything that's inside of your etheric field outside of you. Or you could dissolve the etheric river underneath your skin, the Wei Qi. Or you can do it any way you want to do it, as long as you're feeling anything blocking either your skin inside your body or inside your etheric field, releasing. In movement 3, it is usual that since you are moving from side to side, that you may feel blockages that you don't feel when doing the vertical movement. Just the changing of the position of your body can activate what's moving inside it. Most people will find doing things with the upper body is easier than the lower body. But eventually you want to do this just as smoothly and strongly with your lower body as you do with your upper body. So begin movement 4. Now, nobody can tell anybody exactly how to do this next thing. But your mind gets very quiet, very stable, and very inside you. And you can start thickening the etheric field. And what thickening the etheric field will do is to enable you to recognize what's blocked more easily. And the steady movement through your etheric field can cause the etheric field to get stronger, which eventually will translate to having the ability to extend your etheric field further and further away from your 5 points. When you're at home, focus on these things with all 6 movements. When you have these 3 together, go back and try to get them to integrate with all the things from the earlier installments. So that you go through each separate element, understand what each piece is, get it, and then integrate it into the whole thing you're doing. Keep in mind, you're one person. You're not a Frankenstein made up of parts sewn together. You're one coherent whole. And that is how you want to approach doing God's playing in the clouds. Every once in a while, check yourself. Am I at the 5 points? Have I stayed within the 5 extremities, not allowing them to break up and cease opening? And that does take quite a bit of practice before you can naturally notice if that doesn't occur. And if that doesn't occur, if you're constantly going through checklists, it occurs because something doesn't feel quite right. And when you get that fact that it doesn't feel right, your mind will get naturally drawn to which of the 5 extremities are not doing what they're supposed to be doing. And the next thing is you want to start going inside your body, inside your etheric field, to connect whatever it is that has broken your whole body sense of yourself. Maybe it will be what your physical body is or what your etheric body is. Or maybe it will be your central channel. Or maybe it will be your left and right channels. Or maybe it will be the yin and yang twistings. Or maybe it will be lengthening, or opening and closing. Or maybe it will be how you're breathing. Nobody can say. But to the best of your ability, be aware that you connect them. Until at the end of your practice, whatever week or month you're in, you're doing all of it at once. And then it will gradually dawn on you how to do it. When it does, all of a sudden, everything will come together. Much more likely, you're not going to know how it happened. But when it's happening, all at once, you want to keep it happening all at once. And that's the main point. The next time your hands come down, close. So could you get some sense of the etheric body both outside and inside?
Felt I did.
Good.
Yeah, I mean, the foundation of this obviously being the practice from the past week, which I could connect to right away.
Good.
I think bringing the 5 points back into it, which I remember when the first time you introduced 5 points, which was many, many moons ago, was was uh, ramped things up a level in terms of awareness of, and I think this did the same thing uh, to a degree again. So yeah, that's very, very good.
Excuse me. Good. Carol LaVille.
For whatever reason, I began to notice or realize the similarity to meditation in terms of what happens when there's chatter going on. And obviously, you can't meditate very well, when the brain is interfering. And you can't do this and connect to the etheric body very well either if there's, chatter going on.
Yeah.
So it has to be, really laser focused. I will say that I felt that I had some of it going throughout this morning's session. So
Good. Anything for you, Carol?
Well, my sort of lower mid left back started hurting pretty early on, and I couldn't seem to dissolve it. It helped mildly if I focused on it moving down, especially in 3, moving down into my leg and out my heel. But it made me think, maybe my Wei Chi is saying, I don't want to do this because it eased off as soon as we closed. And I don't, I mean, there's nothing conscious that's saying I don't want to do this, but there's something about I don't know.
Well,
but or the pants I'm wearing, or whatever it is.
Right.
Or there really is a blockage somewhere that's causing this.
Yes. So they're really, I mean, because that's often the place. It doesn't usually happen when I'm practicing at home, but it does happen fairly often in class. In more or less the same place.
I wonder if you have more tension when you're in class.
Probably.
It's kind of like whenever you demonstrate for your teacher, it's never as good as it was when you were by yourself. No. Indeed.
So it was hard to. I didn't want to ignore that. But I couldn't dissolve it either.
But it's still, it was bothering you.
It was there.
And also, I mean, it could just simply be a physical issue, excuse me, which is saying this is too much. I mean, goodness knows, I don't know. Excuse me. I can't speak for everyone, but my spinal stenosis certainly tells me when I'm extending my practice too long and I need to take a break. So sometimes we need to respond to that and just pause what we're doing and let everything resolve a little and then go back to some more practice. Sometimes, and I understand in doing this with me in class, it's kind of hard to the first time to do that, but there's nothing wrong with it. That's being responsive to the reality you're dealing with. Excuse me. I have a tickle in my throat.
I can tell. But not the beginning of anything.
No, I hope not either. So, I think this is a really good practice to work on. I think we'll probably stick with this for a little bit. So play a bit with this week, and see what comes up, what you discover, what you can and cannot let go of. and we'll come back to it next week. Any other thoughts or questions at the moment? Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good,
The
have a good week,
relevant question is this your birthday week?
The 18th is my birthday.
February 18th.
This is our anniversary week.
And when's Jane's birthday week? Is that
She was Monday.
Monday?
Wow.
Many
Yeah,
happy returns for her.
We have it all pretty close together.
Isn't it like one big week?
Within 8 days, we have both our birthdays and our anniversary.
And is this the 90th birthday?
Yes, it is.
Ooh.
Yep.
Did I tell you about my mother's comment about her age?
No.
She was talking with someone who was just celebrated a birthday and was telling her about it. And Mom asked her, well, how old are you? And she said she was 82 or something. I don't know. And Mom said, well, and how old am I? And the friend said, you're 102. And my mom's immediate reaction was, oh, come on.
Yes. I keep insisting that I'm not old, I'm just older.
Yes, I think that's a good way to put it. Yeah.
Or like, oh gosh, who said that? I can't remember. Somebody who said, can't say it now. Anyway, said, there must have been a mistake on my birth certificate.
They did it 10 years too early? What?
Well, have a great week.
All right. You too.
Take care.
All right.
Hope your snow goes away, Bill.
Yeah, it's about to.
How much did you get, Bill?
Just a couple inches.
Yeah, we didn't get too much. Yeah.
No, I just used the broom and I'll be done in 45 minutes. So
Sweet,
Bill
sweet.
Bynum's got lots of snow, though.
Yeah, it's 8 inches. It's a pretty light looking snow. So.
yeah. Well, maybe when I get done with mine, I'll come down and help you. Yeah.
That'll be good. I'll put some tea on for you.
Yeah, you all down south are getting a lot more, at least this one.
Yeah, it's a
Think
weird
we are.
one. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of those
Okay.
lately. All right.
I'm gonna take
Bye-bye.
off. Bye, guys.
Well, I'm sorry we're not there, but speaking of snow, didn't even
What?
dawn on me. I guess because Rick went to work, although I know there are a lot of delays in different places.
Yeah, there's no school cancellations that I saw, so.
No, a few schools were delayed, but I don't see any cancellations. But
Yeah.
they weren't right at this area.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So, you were practicing more this week. What did you discover?
And I had to unlearn some things. It is so helpful to be in person, right? Because you can't really see. The little, we've got the basics down when we do.
Yeah.
I think that there were just a number of things. Play peepaw, I was extending too much, following focus, it was just kind of like missing the nuances of just kind of like doing, kind of slipping through it. Just trying to go through. I mean, I did the first day I did it, I watched the tape, but watched the recording and particularly, where we had really gone back over things and found myself needing to go back to that several times. So it's like a class you're watching, and then you're up and you're doing, and then you're down, kind of. And then just making sure, I think with cloud hands, fist under elbow, we did a lot of work on that, which it's also not just with the position, but this is, anyway. So yeah, and I just kind of went back over those pieces of it, and
Good.
didn't have a lot of time, but I really made time at least 3 days this week, 4 days maybe, to kind of go over it and then make sure that then I incorporated that into the flow, because it's easy to kind of go, oh yeah, now I got it, but then like start back at the beginning of paragraph 2 and make sure you've got them all. So just trying it. I made more time this week. I had a little bit more time this coming week. I think this coming week is the same. Kind of, I do sometimes have really early in the morning meetings, but yeah, that's kind of where I was at.
Yeah.
What about you, Carol?
When Bruce teaches forms, sometimes very often, he will recommend that after learning just one posture or maybe two, that you do 10 repetitions of just that bit.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really good, because it sort of cements
it in.
Cements it in.
Yeah.
In a way that only doing it a couple of times does not do.
Right, because you go, oh, now I've got it, and then that's why when I go back to say, okay, I'll run through the beginning of paragraph 2. I'm like, how did I lose it in 5 minutes?
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe because I only did it 2 or 3 times, not 10. Good point.
Yep.
It's like doing Sancho.
Yeah.
And doing it over and over again. And I remember early on when you were in Waterford, I think it was a brush knee that we were repeatedly over and over and over again. And then when I got in my standard car truck pickup to drive home, my left foot was vibrating enough so it didn't really want to put in the clutch. So, okay, I can hear it. I don't often watch the videos, but I did this time because I remembered you said something about play pipa, and I couldn't remember what it was. So it was really nice to go back and see all the other stuff, and then it was 2 words.
That wasn't, I had that same experience, girl, because I kept saying, no, I'm doing that wrong. Where is that? Where did we talk about that? And that was really the shortest.
It's a really, really short thing, but it was okay. So it's just make it smaller.
Yes. Not spreading, but opening the joints energetically is what I wrote down. That's all. I said, that's it. Right, and I think I was really kind of like, we get it wrong sometimes. Yeah.
I think that it's really important to develop that ability to open and close the joints.
Yes. Yeah.
That's one stage beyond bending and stretching and twisting and lengthening.
Yeah, the hot wild horse's mane is when I'm aware of that, and opening the back, the joints in the shoulders and the back.
Good. Yeah, it's a good place to get that. Good. Well, I agree. I think we accomplish much more when you are able to come in person, because you're quite right. I can't see as clearly or sense the energy, certainly. The way I can when you're in person.
Yeah, I mean, I can't find a place where you could see my whole body.
No, no, I need to
I think
really.
when I do it upstairs, I can do it better, but it's cold.
But so much of it is in the feet too. Are you placing the
Yeah.
feet where they need to go?
Yes. Yeah.
So hopefully you can come next week.
Does that work for you, Carol? It does for me. I have something at noon in New London, but so that's plenty of time.
Yeah.
But yeah, yes. John has something at 12:45 in Mystic, but
Okay.
that should be fine.
Okay.
In some ways, it works out better today because I have an appointment at 11:15. So
Right. Now you gotta, yeah,
can
right.
do it.
Right.
Now I don't. I can breathe a little bit better.
Well, that's
Well, and I
good.
was going to do something on the way back in Salem, so I texted them this morning, but now they're done with something. And our, the community land trust has a farm there, and we had to replace a oil tank. So
Uh,
I don't need to be there for that. I just need to give the check to the guy. He'll find me.
oh, okay.
What farm is that the provider farm?
No, we actually worked with the provider farm. We worked with Hannah at the provider farm to see if because she's only renting all her space.
Yeah.
That's the main place is a Bingham farm, and then she rents other fields. And so we thought, oh, you could have you can have this, but it was for her business plan. It was just too much. We worked with her about 8 months. So no, it's another collective of farmers, most of who have done urban farming. And one who works with Fresh New London, and they've moved in. It's about a 15-acre farm. So there's about a 7-acre field at the top of the hill. There's a brook that runs through it. It's on 85, about a half mile past that BP station. So you kind of go past all of the little town buildings, and then it's just about a half mile up. There's a farm. There's a couple of farms up there. So. But the man who it's 200 acres total, and we work with the Salem Land Trust, and so David Bingham bought the whole piece to be able to pass it on to the Salem Land Trust and the Southeastern Connecticut Community Land Trust. So we took we have 15.25 acres. That's kind of the farmland part, and the rest of it's going to be put into the Salem Land Trust. So luckily, he has the money to hold it until the organizations could kind of gather the funding, the finances to do that. It was in probate, and the man who had lived in the farm, it was in his family for 100 years, and he had been really worried about it just becoming a development. And so it's a good solution. His peace of mind, and for Salem, and for being able to save farmland.
Yeah, that's great.
So, yep. But anyway, so.
Good work.
Yeah. It's exciting. Yeah, it's like in the midst of, I helped start the Community Land Trust, and it was when Trump got elected. And I was like, no, we need to create things that can't be taken away from people. Right? This isn't just a government program that comes and goes, because right now they're going. And they can't touch us. We are ourselves. We are not dependent on federal money. So it takes a lot to not be dependent on federal money, but we've managed. So we got some, ARPA money for some COVID money, but otherwise we've got other ways around it. So anyway, so yeah, and then things break, as we all know, as homeowners.
We have to keep breathing.
We have to keep breathing. I talked to somebody yesterday who's a little younger than me, who's just also kind of, she's an activist and trying to look for nonviolence training. She said, I took up meditation. At my age, I took up meditation. I've never done it before, but it's saving me right now. So,
good.
I told her I'd been doing Tai Chi for like 23 years. And she's like, whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's been about that. 22. Yeah, exactly 23. Yeah.
Yep.
This by next month, I guess. Yeah.
We need all of those things.
We do. Yes.
Well, ladies.
All right. So, go ahead.
Nope. Just have a good week
Don't need it.
and
Yes,
practice as much as you can, and I'll look forward to seeing you next week.
yes, yes. Got it. Got it in my book. All right.
All right. Thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye.